Bonjour les amis, I am Carol Reed. I am a retired French teacher and I am an ongoing musician, and I am doing all the traveling I can possibly squeeze in there at age 68. I figure now's a good time to hit a lot of these bucket list places. I usually travel solo, but this time it was a so-called business trip because I went with one of my bandmates. I have a trio that performs traditional French and Quebecois and Cajun and Creole music. And so we went to the Folk Alliance International Conference in Louisiana, in New Orleans. It was so very exciting, Nouvelle Orleans. And it was a good thing that I traveled as minimally as possible. I was wearing this. Basically, it is a leather jacket that I have sewn pockets on the inside too, so that I can, as I'm walking around the city, there's not a chance that anybody's going to be able to reach through the zipper and pick my pocket. And in one of these pockets I keep my passport, and it also has my global entry card tucked into it for safety, which is great when you're international. This time I was just traveling down for Vermont, so I didn't have to cross any borders, but I keep it in there so I don't lose it, because I tend to lose things. So I'll put that there. And here is also my iPhone 16 Pro. It's not the very latest thing, but it is latest enough for me. And it does a beautiful job with photos, and I can't keep myself from taking a lot of photos and videos when I go places. I've got a little Kinu stand that can be configured in all kinds of ways, and it's magnetic, so if there's something metallic, you can just slap it on there and it will hold still and act as a tripod for you. Or you can set it up if you're watching performances, which I often do, and I did a lot of this past week. So that's a pretty groovy thing. So I'm going to set this over there. And plus, traveling with the phone now, this is where your boarding pass lives. This is where your all of your information. You can have your credit cards on here. You can have your hotel information. You've got your Google Maps. You've got your Google Translate if you should need it. So highly recommend iPhones. I know people get sick of hearing it that are not into the iPhones, but believe me, they're worth the money. So, and I was wearing this black leather jacket, which is a good thing. I left in the car that took me to the airport my big heavy winter coat because I thought I was traveling from the far north in Vermont down to New Orleans, where it was certainly going to be lovely and pleasant, and the weather was predicted to be 62 degrees to 67 degrees, with maybe one night dropping down to 46. I was in for a little shock because, once again, there was a winter storm that blew through the whole country, and it certainly hit us. And so there were several days that it was 35 degrees. So I was glad to have this to walk around in. When I got out of the conference, was held at the Sheraton Hotel down there, right on Canal Street. And so I was plenty glad to have this. And I got extra use. I thought I was going to be traveling in my Eileen Fisher, this is a Renew sweater, which is their recycling basically they will sell used Eileen Fisher clothing back to you. It's just a cotton sweater, and that was great. And I have a merino t-shirt underneath it, and I'm wearing some black jeans that are, I don't know, they're Maryland jeans or something like that. I like them, and they turned out to be warm enough for me to walk around the city, even on the chilly days. So, and on my feet, I always wear my Skechers, just black Skechers, slip-on Skechers. I've got my orthotics in them because I am old and I need orthotics for my weird feet. So these hold up just great. I didn't have to worry about special walking shoes or anything. And you can wear these with a dress, you can wear them with pants, you can wear them with all white, it doesn't matter. So that was great. Now let's look at, this is a little Tibetan pouch I bought in November 2024. And, when I am not wearing the heavy jacket, I can bring this along with me, and I can stick my papers, my whatever I need, my iPhone and so forth, that lives in here very nicely. What else do I have in the main compartment? Nope, nobody in the main compartment. But in here, I've got, in the front pocket, I've got cash, a priority pass lounge card, and a couple of credit cards, and one ATM card. And that's all you need. So I bring a lot of small bills because if I'm leaving tips for musicians, or if I'm, I always plan to leave cash for the housekeeping staff in the hotel and so forth. So I'm kind of a cheapskate. I only leave $5 a day. I hope that doesn't upset anybody out there. I love housekeeping staff, but we try to keep a neat and clean room. So in the second little zipper pocket, just a pen and a mechanical pencil with a nice eraser on it. So that's all I needed there. This pocket, I have a bunch of things for health and beauty. So here is my hair tool. It's a comb. That's all I bring for hair tools. I don't bring gook. I don't bring blow dryers and diffusers and curlers and straighteners and everything, because I'm going to keep it simple. That's all there is to it. And a toothbrush in a nice little case. And this was actually something that I picked up at a previous hotel that I was at. And it's nice because it does have a little cover for your toothbrush. If you don't have a cover, it's all right. You're just going to wash it off because it's your toothbrush. An extra pack of Kleenex, which is good because I wound up getting laryngitis the day after I arrived there, which is not much fun to sing with and so forth. Throat lozenges. Oh my goodness, I did bring a couple of throat lozenges and several cough drops, but I had to go out and get more Cepacol because the laryngitis was no joke, and especially when I had to sing on the first night that I got there, I felt like I was singing through a cotton sock stuffed down my throat. And then it was mostly passed by Saturday night when I had another, it's called a private showcase in the round. And so I just got to sing a few songs, but these things were very helpful. This is a little pot that has some coconut oil. So when my lips are chapped and dry because of that, because of walking around in the big city, wind blowing down the streets, put a little bit of this on, no problems. That keeps it simple. So all this stuff goes in here. Anybody else ashore there? Oh, and a little mints, and here's another little cough drop. These were mints that were given by somebody who's promoting their business, and they put a little barcode on their mints, which I thought was handy in case any of us hippie musicians want to figure out a way to contact them. I could just break out the mints, and there we go. So there is that. Actually, I'm going to set this off to the side. And this is the bento bag. It's the Nomad Lane bento bag. And, you hear a lot about them, and they're great. The only thing was this weighed 16.3 pounds, which as I get older, 16.3 pounds becomes a lot heavier to carry. So I was glad that my friend Suzanne was there with her roller carry-on bag. We only go carry-on because I just hear too many stories of the people who get separated from their luggage and then they're out of luck. So I keep it all into something that is manageable. And so the two of us had the roller bag and this stacked on top of it. She had a small backpack. I had my little pouch, and I brought my mandolin. I didn't want to trust that my guitar, I have a very nice Taylor guitar, but I've dropped it too many times. It's got a lot of cracks in it. I didn't think it was going to hold up for the plane ride. So I did bring that, and that weighs under 5 pounds. My little Tibetan bag weighs 1.3 pounds when it's all stuffed full. So a nice feature on this bag for a lot of people is the side carrying pouch, but I don't bring the big thermoses. I just bring a little bottle of something that I can manage to drink when I'm standing in the line for TSA. Because I always forget to drink my water, and then you have to throw out the container, or you have to find a place to empty out the water, or it's just too much to drink. So I just bring a little thing, and I keep refilling it every time I see the water fountains and stuff. I manage to keep this always full all the time. And while this will hold a much bigger thing, I don't need it. So, in the front of this, I'm going to see what this is. There's a nice little compartment, and it has lots of little pockets and pouches in it. So I keep a calendar / journal, and this has all the important information I would ever need, and it has things like mandolin chords if I want to transpose something that I'm used to playing on guitar and so forth. So I have teeny tiny writing, but I write all my travel details on there because once in a while somebody's phone gets stolen, or they misplace their phone, or they leave it on the plane. I left my glasses on the plane this time, but I was able to get another pair when I was there because they had a sight and sound clinic at the folk conference. And so that was great. I got a free pair of glasses out of it to replace the ones that I had carelessly left behind on the plane. So it has all the information I would ever need, and plus everybody's birthday and death date and anniversaries and so forth. So if anything is happening while I'm traveling, I always have this. And here's a mask, just because you never know when you're going to need a mask these days still. I keep in here a little antique fork and spoon, and I usually have a butter knife. I think that's down in the bottom somewhere. And this is because I can't stand eating off of plastic, or even worse, actually, are the bamboo things. They change the taste of the food, the tines break off in your teeth. So I just travel with my own, and then I'm all set. I can stop by the grocery store and I can pick up my yogurt and granola, and you know, I can always make do as long as I have some cutlery. And I like to have nice silverware. So this is an extra thing of Biscoff that Delta thinks, they call them cookies. They're not cookies, they're not very good. And I always bring a little baggie of gorp. So it's cashews and chocolate and apricots and, you know, that is going to, you know, I can add that to my granola and yogurt in the morning if I want, or I can snack on it if I'm, once again, not being fed on an airplane. And then down in here I've got, these are my compression socks, which I managed to cut a little slit on the top of them because the top elastic is always too binding, and it always feels like I'm completely cutting off my circulation. So I do that to make it more comfortable, and I don't care if it's not a fashion statement. I don't care about fashion statements. And then I have a little black silk eye mask, which I usually forget to actually use this, but when I do use it, it does help me get a little bit of sleep. I do suffer from insomnia, so there's that. Boop. Away you go. Anybody else down here? Oh, this is nice. It has a little key leash, but my car is currently in the shop, so I didn't have any keys to attach to it this time. Up here we've got a couple of cute little pockets. Oh, here they are. These are the little pockets for the tech bag that they send you. And in the tech bag, I've got the usual run-of-the-mill things. I've got a couple of battery packs in here that I can magnetically slap on. One of them is actually bigger and it has a cord, so I can plug it into my iPad to recharge that. Let's see, there that goes. Has a couple of different cords, so you can plug in two things and then possibly have the magnetic thing working as well. And then here is, these are great. It's a plug. You can get them for the US and Canada, you can get them for Europe, you can get them for Australia, and it'll always look like a different configuration here. But the important thing is I only need, there are two USB plugins, and there are two USB-C plugins. That's all I need, because I don't bring the hair tools, I don't bring irons and, you know, all that gook. So all I need is something to keep my devices going, and that makes me happy. And I also have a little eye tag, or what's it called, an air tag in here. I also keep the, these are the headphones that Delta gives you each flight, but I don't like to waste things, so I just tend to reuse the same ones every time if I want to watch one of their movies. Usually I download things that I have been meaning to watch at home and never have the time to, so that's always good when you hop on a plane and discover there is no seat back screen, there's no place to plug in anything, and this way I'm set with that. And over here, let's see, anybody else there? Nope, nobody else home. So this is my liquids bag, and it's very minimal. I have stuff in it, like there's a little spray bottle of some lavender spray that I can use to spray when I'm having trouble going to sleep. I spritz a little bit of that in the air, and that's great. But I have things like my eye drops, and this used to be filled with my Preservision, you know, like all the liquid gel caps for vitamins that I would take. If I'm trying to refill something, I can fill this right up. I always travel with arnica oil, Here's a little teeny toothpaste. I take these things from hotels, you know, when they have little freebies, and that way I don't have to spend so much time looking for things in drugstores, and they're free. And there's a little teeny pot of hand cream moisturizer. Usually most hotels now have moisturizer as well as shampoo and conditioner, so I don't tend to bring those things. What else has it got? Oh, this was my makeup is in here, which consists of one mascara and one lip balm stick that has a slight bit of coloring. I not one to go in much for a lot of makeup. I will put a little bit on when I'm performing, and the rest of the time, take me as I am. That's all there is to it. So let me see now. So this is nice because it has a little way to access things here. Oh, here's one of my little air tags. I'll put you over there. So I'm going to zip that back, but if I had anything that I needed to grab quickly, I could just shove it in this little zipper, and I could access it whether I'm on a plane and this is under the seat in front of me or not. On the back of this is the pass-through thing. If you unzip it on the bottom, if you don't need it, you can zip it up, and it's a lovely little pocket. But I was able to unzip this, pop this over my friend's wheeling bag, and then all of a sudden the 16.3 pounds was not a problem to carry. So there is that. So let's open up the big compartment here. And in the one side, I've got, let's see, put you over here. Oh, here is where my iPad lives when it's not recording the video that it is doing right now. And then, zippy-doo. This is my main clothing deal. Here I've got my eyeglass case, which I can now use for my new glasses since I left the first pair on the plane. Shame on me. This is a little bag that I put my souvenirs, which include like, a souvenir handkerchief for my husband and some candied pecans for my husband. And of course you can't go to Mardi Gras without getting some beads. So I've got some beads in here. This is cute. We went to the Chewbacca parade late on Saturday night. And this says, "Use the fork, Luke." So everything was Star Wars themed. I'm going to set these over here. And in my, the clothing that I brought, I really kept things simple. It was a good thing that I had the things that I did. I could have used another sweater because it was 35 degrees at least 2 of the days there, and it was like 42 and 45 the other days. So first thing that comes to mind here, this is a little empty spray bottle. I fill it with water when I get to my hotel room. I take the things out of here. Whether you fold it or roll it, it still is going to wind up with some wrinkles. So I fill this with water. Spritz, spritz, spritz. Oh, I should have emptied that before I got on the plane, but oh well. And then you just take your hands and smooth out the wrinkles on the clothing. You hang it in the closet to dry. Give it a little bit of air on both sides. It's going to be bone dry long before morning comes. And the wrinkles will just kind of dissolve away. So you don't need the fancy products, the wrinkle release that Downy makes and all that stuff. Just get yourself one of these little refillable spray bottles and you are set to go. This is the same kind of spray bottle that I have the lavender mist in as well. So I have one nightgown that actually can double as a dress, and in addition to the sweater and the shirt that I'm wearing, I have a linen long sleeve tunic. I have a 3/4 sleeve coral. This is another wool X shirt, I think. Nice V-neck. This is a little, I got this in Venice years back, and recently I've lost a lot of weight, so now I can wear it finally. But it's just a cute little lacy sweater, and you know, I can wear that to perform in as well. This is a dress that I got at a secondhand store. I love it. It's a maxi dress. It's very colorful. I can perform in that. These are some pants that I got in Lima, Peru, and they are silk, so they weigh next to nothing, and they just zip into a little bundle, and it has this pretty waistband on it with little sequiny kind of things embroidered on the front of it. So I can wear that with one of the plain tops that I carry with me, and that works out great. And then I've got one pair of linen pants. So the silk pants, the linen pants, and the black jeans, all I need for pants. And the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tops, including what I'm wearing, and one dress and one nightgown that doubles as a dress. And that I was able to pile on the layers when I was going around, because I was not expecting it to be quite so cold. And that worked out perfectly though. So again, whether you fold or roll, doesn't matter. It's nice to kind of have these. This is an Eagle Creek compression cube. I don't need to compress it because that's just going to add to the wrinkles. When I'm coming home, I usually tend to compress it because I have too many souvenirs and I'm trying to fit more stuff in my little limited space. So I'm just going to ignore that now. And let's see, this is the only other stuff that I brought. Here's a smaller Eagle Creek bag, and it's very underfilled, so I didn't bother to compress it. I just squish it into the space that I want. And this is the one that has underwear and bathing suits, and if I wanted to, I could put the nightgown in here. On the top of it, I've got one cotton handkerchief because I'm old and I like to have a cotton handkerchief with me. And then the 2 pieces of jewelry that I brought, in addition to the pendant that I'm wearing, just a little bracelet and a little simple necklace. But I like them and they're my birthstone, and so I bring that. And I put them on top of my underwear packet so that they don't get all jumbled. And I understand that if TSA is trying to see through your bag and you have your necklaces in a big clump, they don't read through the metal clump. So I figure, okay, I'll spread them out and make everybody happy. Now I bring 2 pairs of socks, plus the socks I'm wearing, plus the compression socks that I just changed into on the plane. This time I was glad I had the compression socks because when I wore the dress, it was cold. So I had the compression socks to give me added warmth. So 2 pairs of socks. When they're dirty, when I get done at the end of the night, I wash them out. 3 pairs of underwear, same thing. At the end of the night, I go to the hotel sink, spritz, spritz, spritz. Whatever soap is in your hotel is plenty perfect for washing your clothing. So, and I was able to. We were there for 6 nights, 7 days. And I was able to wash my linen pants and this sweater and so forth, because after a few wears, they were getting a little dingy. The merino is nice because you don't need to wash it as often. And the jeans, I didn't wear often enough to need to wash those out. This is the only thing that I probably didn't use on the trip was my bathing suit. I choose a nice lightweight bathing suit, and I could look down from my 23rd floor at the very lovely pool that was down there, and it was freezing cold, so I didn't go swimming outside. And an extra bra, so I've got a pink bra and a black bra, and 3 sets of underwear, 2 pairs of socks. Oh, I guess maybe I have 4 sets of underwear. And then this is my only accessory I have, and this served because I had not remembered to bring my little wool beret, and it was cold, and so I could put this over my head. I could keep myself warm. And then somebody wonderful gifted me, thank you, Linda Kohovic, this lovely bag, which is for when I'm shopping. And I went out to get groceries at one point, stock up on my yogurt and granola and so forth. I find if I have every single meal in a restaurant, I don't feel well. It's just too much food. So I have to keep some meals simple. So I bring this along. Now the other thing I've got in this side of it, let me move this stuff aside. Boom, boom. So not much left in here. I've got, this is a little baggie that has all of my, it has one makeup brush because I do bring a very small thing of powder. It has the Cepacol that I brought. It has basically meds that maybe I won't need, but I was glad that I had some NyQuil with me, because when I got down there, all of a sudden that's when my laryngitis really set in. So I was glad to have that, and then I went out the next day and I bought Cepacol and Dayquil and NyQuil, and then I was set for the week. So that was great. So just a few odds and ends. One thing in here is a little fold-up pair of scissors. I don't know if I can bring, oh, here they are. These are very cute, and they pass TSA perfectly, and they're Fiskars, I think, so they're very sharp. And when it was time to cut off our wristbands at the end of the festival, you know, I could snip through both of our wristbands in a twinkling. I did wish that I had brought also my nail scissors, because I had a nail that broke, and then jagged edges of that are sticking out. But my partner had she had a pair of nail clippers, so that was great. So just odd ends there that are dry goods basically. And then I bring 2 packets, one for a day, one for night, of the vitamins and supplements that I always take. And it's Preservision and vitamin E and a multivitamin and calcium and all kinds of stuff. So that keeps that simple. If I go on a longer trip than a week, I will bring in baggies the other things to make refills as I go. This is the coin purse that was just a little bit too small for the credit cards, so I brought that along in case I wanted to go out without my pouch. I could just slip that in my pocket and have my credit cards in that. This is a baggie that now it's filled with some souvenirs of some CDs that I was given. It started off with 5 CDs from our band, and this is a program where you got to go out and see Hadestown, the touring company. Highly recommended. If you haven't seen Hadestown, do yourself a favor, find it, go see it. It's incredible, and it's written by a young lady that we watched grow up from. I watched her grow up from teenagehood, and she's brilliant, Anais Mitchell. And this had the things that I needed for my band. A capo, it has some picks, it has a little souvenir button, just business cards that people gave me and so forth. And so I keep reusing the same Ziploc baggies, because it's perfect for keeping things from getting wet, getting mussed up. And then this is a little container that I fill with daily chocolates from Vergennes, Vermont. Before every trip, I figure out how many days am I going, and I put that many chocolates in it, and I take their motto seriously, a little bit of chocolate every day. As Katharine Hepburn said, I feel a bit of chocolate every day, keeps me sweet. So I don't know how sweet she was, but I figure that's good enough recommendation for me. So, and in here I also have just a little baggie with a wire tie, so that if I am someplace and I could always like put the chocolates in here, and then I go to a restaurant, and rather than taking a great big takeout thing, if I've ordered too much food, which is often the case, I can stick the leftovers in here. It seals up tightly. This is made by Joie, Joie. And it's never spilled, and keeps things nice and solid. And if I need an impromptu bowl for having yogurt and granola in the morning, I've got it. And plus I've got my spoons. So that's all I've got from this trip. It was an amazing trip. It was quite wonderful. Met wonderful people. The talented musicians that I got to hear perform blew my mind. Getting to see the play Hadestown again blew my mind. We did get word on Saturday that our Monday flight, we should really reschedule it, says Delta by text, because there's this huge winter storm blowing in, and my husband was sending me also copies of the winter storm blowing through, and he's telling me how many feet he's shoveling off of the truck and off of the driveway and off of the house and everything. My husband chooses to stay home with the dog and the cat and keeping those home fires burning, and that is what makes him happy while I'm traveling, and the adventures keep me happy, so everybody's happy. So ladies, I can't say it enough times, if you are thinking about taking a little adventure, creating something for yourself, you go right ahead and you do it. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. You can assess everybody you meet. My motto is always talk to strangers. So you can assess the people that you meet in a twinkling. You can get a sense of whether this is a good person or a not very good person. The not good people you stay away from, and the good people you become friends, and then you swap information. I took to taking people's photos and then having them write in their name and their email address at the bottom of the photos on the info spot on the photos. And then that way, not only do I have their contact information, but I can say, oh, that was the person that I did thus and such with. So it's really, really, really fun to go traveling the world and having yourself an adventure. If you have somebody to go with, great. If you don't have somebody to go with, go anyway, because that is the best education you can get. And you get to be an ambassador from the United States. You get to show people as you're traveling the world that Americans are interested in other places and how other people are living, what other people are eating, what are their religions like, and what is their political system like, and so forth. So if you're despairing of the current situation, fear not. Go traveling, be a goodwill ambassador, and you can't go wrong. So, merci beaucoup et bonnes aventures, mes amis. Please do like and follow this. Follow me. I'm not used to saying that. I'm still new to the YouTube game, but I would really appreciate that, and I would love to hear any comments that you have, any contributions you have to make. So, au revoir mes amis, bonnes aventures.